Welcome to all on Friday evening, 5 p.m. We extend a very hearty welcome to all of you this evening. On Friday evening, as you all are aware, we have a very special program on water management strategies. Excuse me. Today, my throat is very bad, so kindly be kind to excuse me in case if I'm not in a position to speak louder and more. Today we have got 656th webinar, and as you all are aware of, every Friday we have a program for you from Singapore, and that is on water management strategies. So today, once again, our senior advisor, Shri Anil MANOCHA ji, he is joining us all the way from Singapore, and we are sharing water sector as a professional choice. And over there, we will have a deliberations. He will give you the complete run, what exactly we have got in that. Now, International Chamber for Service Industry, right from the pandemic beginning, we all have been sharing couple of areas and we kept the education going, making education relevant. We brought in this water series also, women empowerment also, waste to resource management also. At the same time, we brought motivational talks, what all like Swami Vivekanandaji conveyed for education, for teacher, for youth, for ecosystem of empowerment. Then we have also been discussing with you on Buddhism. And besides that, we had also taken up every Sunday morning Vidya Se Adhyatam Vidya Ki Aur. But Friday evening, 5 p.m., is dedicated to water management series. Ladies and gentlemen, the whole world, we all are one family. So let's save every drop of water. That is something very important which we all have to take care of. If you recall, on 12th of August, we got the Honorable Minister of State, Ministry of Jal Shakti. We had a detailed discussions with him. He's very keen that let's proceed further. What all can be done with regard to sustainable development goal related to water resource management, and at the same time from Sparsh Ganga we got very innovative lady, that is Arushi Nishank Pantji, on couple of days, on couple of programs. And we are having today at 8 p.m. the last focus, that is of this week, because Monday, that is on 1st of February, the budget was announced. And then we had started the series and we have taken on the complete 1 week series, that is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday today. 5 days we have been deliberating with you what is there for the education sector in the budget 2021, and how do we look at school education, higher education, technical and vocational education. So today at 8 p.m., you'll have a live telecast from Doha, Qatar, and that will come where we would be talking about future education and the new budget. So, all of us together in this journey, let's move ahead. And this evening, we extend a very hearty welcome to Sri Anil MANOCHA ji to take on, because he is the senior leader of this particular series for our chamber. We're grateful to him. From time to time, he has brought lots of valuable inputs. Couple of case studies we have taken. So we are moving in that series further today. With these words, Sri Anil Manocha ji.
Good evening, everybody. Incidentally, today is Chinese New Year, and in Chinese Mandarin language we call it Gongxi Pachai. So as you will know that Chinese every year they dedicate it to an animal. So this year, which has started from today, is dedicated to ox. So it's a year of ox, which has started today, and that's why I'm in a red T-shirt, and red is the color for China. I mentioned. So in Singapore everything is closed. It's considered a very big holiday. So today, tomorrow, even the shops and everything is closed because of COVID. Yes, there is a restriction. You're not allowed to get more than 8 people assembled together. So that is what is happening. But yes, on a low key note, people are celebrating the year, and let's hope that this year brings more luck to all of us. So today we will be talking on water as a professional career. If you know, we have spoken a lot since 23rd October. We have talked about water related technologies. We have talked about water related pollution, water sources. We have covered the experiences from various parts of the world. So we have close to 1.5 dozen speakers who came from South Africa, who came from Malaysia, who came from Singapore, who came from Philippines, US, and they gave their useful information to all of us in understanding what water sector is emerging and what sort of issues we face as various countries. Most of us have raised and given comments that next war will be on water. Most of us have said that water is becoming a scare commodity, and also we have also talked about other water related issues between various countries, various places. So since lot has been talked on water today, we thought we will just touch upon what water means in case somebody is interested in making a career in water. So as it is understood, whenever you want to make a career in any sector, you need to have a right education, you need to have right skills, you need to have vision, and you need to have an interest. So these are few key parameters when you try to see any career. And of course, you need some sort of a guide, whether he is in the form of a teacher or he in the form of a experienced professional, or he is a person who is experienced in that field or that industry, to hold your hand till you can uh, continue your journey yourself. So today we will talk about that and see whether it makes some sense to you. The idea of this webinar is to sensitize the people about this profession and see whether this career makes some sense to you. People today talk a lot about careers in IT. People talk a lot about careers in artificial intelligence. People talk a lot about other careers, and nobody specifically talks about water as a career. So we thought, okay, let us talk about this today, spend some time and give some idea to people. This is a very basic presentation which will just sensitize the career opportunities in water sector, and more will depend upon how we should take it forward. Now, if we know water is only this much on the earth, though 71% of earth is covered with water, and only 1% is the water which is useful as of now. And complete as of today, most of us talk always about the water which is in rivers, water which is in underground, and we seldom, or we also talk about seawater, we also talk about the wastewater and all those things. But practically, whenever somebody talks about water scarcity in a country or water scarcity and water wars, they only focus on this 1% water. And we forget about this sea water which is available on the earth. If you see, if 71% of the earth is covered with sea and earth diameter is 689 miles, you can see what type of abundance of water source is available, which, if rightly tackled through a technology interface, can address and can contribute in salvaging the water issues which we have. So we'll talk about all those things. We have learned from various news items from previous seminars that water is becoming scarce day by day, and it is an important raw material for growth, whether the growth is industrial economic growth or whether in whatever form the national growth and all those things. We have talked about gross domestic production and all those things. So water is important raw material source. We have also heard that there's a rising demand for domestic sector, industry and agriculture. And we have also in some presentations in past have talked that recycled water is emerging as a new source, and this sector is likely to grow by 72%. Means in the times to come, more and more people will be consuming recycled water. It means water which is used once can be used again and again for a different type of applications. So this is how the situation is emerging. And since most of my audiences relate themselves to India and few also are outside India, though the potential is immense globally, but I thought I will present a slide because we just had a budget, and in budget there are a lot of allocations made. So just to sensitize my audiences on the potential, you will see that the capital expenditure is has been increased to by 83% in water sector, and which stands at a whopping number of US dollar 16 billion. Means about 16 billion US dollar will be spent in water sector in next 3 years time. Also we have seen that most of the sewage which is generated, about 37% of the sewage, even in urban India. I'm not talking rural India as of now. Urban India generates certain quantity of sewage. Let's not bother about the numbers, but the important is that 37% of sewage, even today from urban India, is discharged untreated. So there brings a potential of lot of sewerage systems. And also there is a information that the water availability is coming down, and in the times to come, from it will come down from 1820 cubic meter to 1120 to further lower down. So with lower water availability, with untreated sewage and US dollar 16 billion to be spent by in the water sector, I think it is, as a business proposition, it is a right case where there is a shortage of raw material, which is water. There is a potential in the water sector because demand is more. So in any business opportunity, when you do a SWOT, most of us who have done MBAs will must have learned the basic skill of doing a SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. So this becomes an ideal profession that you can be in this industry. Then, when you look at the investments in Jal Jeevan Mission, see, we have announced in Jal Jeevan Mission that tap water connection will be provided to every household by 2024. And while providing this, we are going to spend something close to 3.5 lakh crores of rupees in next 5 years. So means when you're providing a tap water connection, you are bringing some sort of material, you're bringing some sort of equipment, some sort of design interface in the water sector, which brings an opportunity. Also, we have seen that by August 20, so many water, already 189 million households have been provided with water connection. Now, when we go to industrial sector, we will realize that as of today, only 60% of industrial wastewater is treated. Means 40% of water which industry is consuming and discharging is untreated wastewater. Now, when you have a 40% untreated wastewater, brings opportunity for again a sector to be exploited. And with the use of digital technologies, artificial intelligence, it is becoming very easy to find a industry which is not treating the water. So even today, you can find a country which is not treating the water, and when a discharge goes to the sea, you can identify which country has disposed untreated water to the sea. So when you modify it to the city level and state level, industrial estate level, it will not be very difficult to identify which particular industry has discharged the wastewater, maybe knowingly or unknowingly, maybe in the night, maybe in the morning. So once this tightening of norms comes, a lot of opportunity exists in that sector also. Also, we have heard that 40% of the water doesn't meet the standards. So again, there's an opportunity. So, and then a lot of information inputs are going on the Namami Ganga project. We are going to spend something close to US dollar 3 billion for cleaning the Ganges. And then pollution control board norms are getting tighter and further things, further standards are taking place. So if you look at the opportunity size, opportunity exists in water, wastewater, in cleaning. So it all depends upon what is my skill, what is my education, where I want to go, and which particular sector of water I want to adopt as a profession. Now, this again is a map which I picked up from my previous slides, which was done by my one of the presenters from Malaysia, and she talked about water situation. It says that though India has got 16% of population, only 4% water resources. Again, it is a case where the water resources are limited. It also says that so many people lack access to drinking water in India. 97 million people lack access to drinking water. We have also talked about that 21% of communicable diseases in India are because of unclean water. Means when you are trying to work on a health sector, so there is an opportunity. When you are trying to work on drinking water, safe drinking water, there is an opportunity. When you are trying to work on agriculture, there is an opportunity where the agriculture levels are going down. And when you talk about rainwater, again there's an opportunity. So means purpose of this slide is you consider of any application and any source of water, and because of we are going towards improving efficiency and improving availability, every source, every water, every application offers a opportunity which can be considered as a professional career. This particular map is a map which talks about the situation of groundwater. Now, you will see that the groundwater is declining. Levels of groundwater are going down by every year, roughly between 2 to 8 centimeters. And if today you have to extract water from various parts of India, in Punjab, you have to go something like 20 meters down to get a groundwater. In Haryana, 18 meters. In Rajasthan, 25 meters. So means when you want to access the groundwater, you have to deep wells which are so deep, 25 meters in Rajasthan, 20 meters in Punjab, and every year this is going down by 2 to 8 centimeters. So means there is a water stress. There is a figure which is available that so much of groundwater we are consuming for our purposes, and next 90% of this water goes for agriculture sector. And in agriculture sector again, 90% of the water which is used for agriculture is used for rice and wheat crop. So this is a situation when somebody wants to consider a rural water opportunities. There is opportunity exists where you can improve this efficiency of water, which is currently 90%, and whatever devices, whatever technologies can be used to improve the efficiency for agriculture economy can be used. Now, also there is a good prediction that though we were using uh, per capita 829 liters of water in 2006, which is by 2025 it will go to 1093, but in 2050 it will come down to 1047. So when you say the per capita water consumption dropping, means the lot of efficiency will come in the water sector. It is not that the water will not be available. Water efficiency gadgets, water efficiency equipments will be utilized, which will bring efficiency in the water sector, and per capita will reduce. And when you compare the per capita consumption today We on average basis, though we talk 120 liters in the urban, but in villages the per capita consumption is much lower. We are India today is sitting at 88 liters per person per day, which will grow to 167 liter as the country is going towards the economy path. We are going progressing from to a higher economy zone. So the per capita consumption will increase, and when you compare this per capita consumption with China, China is well, is currently sitting at 82, US is sitting at 582. So there is a potential available here. And then in India, the water consumption, 83% of the water is used in agriculture sector today. And when you compare the 83% to Europe, it is 33% only water is used in Europe, and in the world is 69%. So when you consider world agriculture water uses versus India, it brings a opportunity for improving the efficiency in agriculture sector. So this is important. And then once this comes down, the consumption in industry will go up because a lot of industrial revolution is likely to take place in India, and we will again be uh, heading towards this type of distribution, pie chart distribution in water consumption in times to come. Now, when we talk about water landscape, I bit talked about the water opportunities, but when we talk about water, we have to work not only with technology, we have to work with people. Now, anybody uh, who is a water consumer, and all of us are water consumers and water producers in some form or the other. So we have to connect ourselves with people, and we have to connect. When we try to connect ourselves with people, lot of scope comes for social activities, lot of scope comes for economic, political activities, lot of scope comes for communication activities. So any sector which is people who are involved in social work, who are involved in communication, mass media, will find water sector communication as a opportunity. And once we deal with environment, we talked about the surroundings around us. We talked about involving the people, involving the states, involving the countries. So there is a element of connecting ourselves with the environment, and then we connect with economy. So people, environment, economy goes hand in hand when you try to solve the water problem. And when you do this, you get into a water related services, you get into a activity which is water related services. I've already spoken about that. Then mitigation of water related risks. See, how do we overcome the solve the pollution problem? How do we make the water security, avoid contamination? So we work towards avoiding mitigation risk, and then we work towards managing the water resource. When you talk about managing the water resource, we talked about how efficiently we can manage the bore wells, how efficiently we can manage the rivers, how we can take help of sewage, how we can take help of other contamination. And when you do this, in order to achieve this, you need an infrastructure to develop all these facilities, and you need institutions to guide us properly. And once you do this, then we really get into a real water endowment. And when you talk about water endowment, means a holistic view of water resources in a given country or a region, which relate to society and environment. So when you talk about water as a business, you deal with people, environment, economy through infrastructure institutions. And once you do this, you create a total landscape of water. So I thought I will get into this important to give you a bit of a hard dose in the beginning. So once as a person, I want to adopt water. Again, water has got so many ways to go. See, we have potential from drought to floods. We have seen. We have, if I just talk about India, the lowest rainfall is in Rajasthan, western part of Rajasthan, which is about 35 centimeter, and highest rainfall is in northeastern states, which is about 1185 centimeter. And we face the problem, very common problem of droughts and floods. So droughts and floods, pipes to pumps, because we are trying to give water to all the villages, agriculture to industry, are the water markets, and these are the innovations. So whether you want to work in a drought sector or flood sector or a pipe sector or in a state, you find an opportunity. And once you start working towards this, each opportunity can be made a commercial sector. And once you make it as a commercial success, it will give you a safer water future. So that is what we thought will convey with this. And when you try to work water as a carrier, you can earn money while protecting the environment. So it is a noblest profession, I should say. You make money for your livelihood as well as you protect the environment and you service communities. You provide people with the right quality of water, clean, safe water. So in certain places, when you do this, a water service provider gets a respect which is as equal to a doctor who protects your life. So, and water is a global issue, and a lot of opportunities are existing, and a lot of things are happening in the efficient technologies. Industries are improving. There are certain industries which are water guzzlers, means they take lot of water for processing, like textile industries. There are they use lot of water when you process the textile. Paper industry takes lot of water. When you talk about steel industry, they consume lot of water for producing steel. So, and lot of technology interface will bring water as a right carrier for our growth. Now, there is also a activity which is taking place on startups. If you look at startup opportunities, in government of India has set up startup missions. Countries are working towards startup technologies in water sector, and countries like Singapore, countries like Israel, countries like USA, you name a country, there will be water startups available. And if I will not be wrong in making a statement that there will be close to 200, 2000 to 3000 water startups, even today. About 600 I can think of are available only in Singapore. And similar numbers will be in USA, similar numbers will be in Israel, Germany. So every country is working towards access to water, improving water efficiency, working towards water and wastewater technologies, trying to do irrigation management. So, and there is a well-structured startup infrastructure available, created by the governments of India, governments of other countries, where you can interact, find out, and find your interest and work towards it. Uh, there are some case studies I thought I will take here. There are case studies where people do smart water metering. So if you look at smart water metering, means you don't have the person don't have to come and read your water meter. He can just access your water meter on a satellite based platform, and he will understand how much water you are consuming. You can also manage drinking water quality control through satellite-based monitoring technologies. You can have on-site water recycling technologies. You have technologies where you can generate water from atmosphere, and then you also are working towards converting sea water into good water, and eco-friendly desalination technologies are working. Now, I thought I'll just take these five examples to showcase some startups which are working in these five different fields, and these startups have become very successful globally. And I have shown the locations where these are located, and these people are working on smart watering devices. They are working on drinking water quality management from Israel, startup from USA, a startup from again Israel, startup from so many parts of the world. So you can see various parts of the world these startups are already working and making successful studies. This another example where we have taken the benefit of satellite-based communication system, as if somebody had been chasing this particular webinar. In previous webinars, we have told that about 35% of the water is non-revenue water. Now, non-revenue water is the water when it leaves a water treatment plant and reaches home. In between, the water get wasted by way of leaks, by way of seepages and all those things. And to when these pipes run into kilometers cross country and all those things, it becomes very difficult. So there is a technology which can deduct a leak through a satellite based interface. It will point out, okay, this particular portion with the Google coordinates, there is a leakage, go and attend. So This company in Israel is working, has commercialized this technology where you can identify the leaks, and they have the global data. You can, they can tell you if you are in say Delhi, which part of Delhi the water is leaking in the pipe, which pipe. They will give you Google coordinates. You go and attend that. So this is the type of revolution which is taking place in the water industry. So they also say that they have discovered so many leaks and they have saved so much of water. So each leak you attend, you save so many gallons of water per day and all those things. This is another example of a startup in India. You have seen in India, people find it very difficult to get water access to your homes, and most of pictures which we see people carrying on their head and taking water from well to places. So this company, a startup company in India, bought an innovative idea that you can roll the water drum and take it. So it makes the life of a woman so easy that she can meet the demand of this household by not carrying the water on her head, rather rolling the water on your head. So small ideas are turning into big startups. So this particular startup has reinvented the wheel in water sector. Also, we have startups at home where you can reduce the water consumption by 98%. This converts the water into mini droplets and air, and it simply saves the water, 98% of water. And the effect of water is same, like the water I use for washing my hands is reduced by 98% by installing this type of dual flow nozzles, which is a tow mist and spray mode. You create some sort of spray and mist, so that effects is the same. Means what? If we install these type of devices at homes, I will be drastically reducing my consumption of water. And once I reduce my consumption of water, I bring more efficiency into picture. So again, these are the typical examples. You have rainwater sensors which can be installed. You have smart showers which can reduce your water consumption by 98%. You have got faucet aerators. You have got rainwater harvesting systems. You have got the moment the nozzles, when you're taking a bath and your hand is not below the water tap, automatically get closed. You can time your showers. You can flush the toilet with the dual toilet converter. So all these type of smart gadgets are coming in the market, and all further to this, you can integrate this through some artificial intelligence mode and something to make it more efficient. When we look at water applications, we have talked about various water applications in household at homes, like drinking, cooking, gardening, commercial hotels, restaurants, agriculture, communities, and we have talked about issues. So each and every application, the type of technological interface taking place gives a scope to person who wants to make water as a professional choice. Again, this is a picture which talks about the water contamination. Now, water contamination, if you look at the previous way of analyzing water, we used to analyze the water in laboratories. We used to analyze water through a chemical titrations. But nowadays, the technological interface you can do in a much better device manner. Maybe a single instrument can analyze 8 to 10 parameters. Uh, when we look at the water use for household, I have just taken an example of household. Whenever we say, okay, I consume about 120 liters water in a day, I use 16.8% water in shower, 26% in toilets, 13% of water lost in leaks. I use 21% water in cloth washing, and I use 15% water in washing hands and all those things. Everywhere, just imagine that if you use smart gadgets and instruments, how much water you can save. And if we are talking about 98% efficiency in new gadgets, even if I consider 50% efficiency, 40% efficiency, and if I bring down this number without compromising my consumption pattern, you see what type of potential I have to market myself or to position myself in a water industry. Now, definitely, whatever I'm telling is all known. And when we are in the water sector, we always say, what I must answer these questions. What I do, say for example, I want to enter into a water sector. I will say what I do. I do a water treatment services. How I do is by using certain technologies. But most important is why I do it. And if I can communicate this why, I will be a winner. So if whatever profession you want to do, if you want to answer all this, what you do, how you do, why you do, and if you know this why, and if you can communicate this why to a customer, you can be a very successful professional in whatever field you choose. And when I say this why, and I take the example of, say, Apple phone communicates very easily to a consumer that why they should use Apple phone. They don't talk about the technical specifications. They only talk about the aesthetics, use, and the way this phone can be used. So with this small presentation, I would like to end my talk of today, and I will say that there is a enormous potential available in water sector. It all depends what I intend to do. The moment you decide to make water as a career, then you start working backwards and see how this career can be done. There's a career available for engineers. There's a career available for uh, non-technical people, professionals. There's a career available for lawyers. There's a career also available for doctors in the water profession field, industries. So it depends where you want to go. Water is a raw material for everything, and I will say water is a lifeline. So with this, I would like to leave a thought among you why you want to be in a water carrier. And if the moment you have this answer of why, please connect with us and we will be willing to hold your hand so that you are guided properly. Thank you very much. With this, I end my presentation of today. Over to you, Gulshan.
Thank you very much. Excuse me. Thank you very much, Anil Manocha ji. It was a very meaningful session today. In fact, like a small child, I've taken all the notes, and I found this as a most stimulating and rewarding water as career. Water as career, very important, because so many takeaways are there from today's session. And I personally feel that one of the key area which you have given, Singapore, Israel, and USA, and startups. That is something very interesting. You have given this 2 to 3,000 you have told for all three of them combined, or you have given for one particular country
See,
startups.
yeah, I think, see, Singapore, there is about 600 startups. I will not, I
Okay,
think my
okay.
figure may not be right
No,
because
no, it's okay.
the
It's
figures may be in 10,000. I do not
right,
know. I
right,
just took a
right.
vague number.
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah, yeah,
moment you
yeah.
get into details, yeah, but
Okay,
even in India, there are a lot of startups, in the water.
okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
So I personally feel our chamber should start working on it, getting all the startups together, and we bring them on a common platform under your leadership. Let them share their experiences. What are they doing?
Sure.
Because even if we get 25, 30 of them together. Secondly, once again, my whole cycle and my psychology revolves around education. And today, when you have talked something very interesting, key parameters, education, skills, vision, and interest. When you have given that, I personally feel once again, because water being a scarce resource, rising demand, and recycle water, what is to be done? I think there is a lot of ideas which I have got from you today, from today's presentation, and I personally feel this series can steal the show. And every Friday, it may be a Jummah for somebody, it may be a holiday in Middle East, but this particular program can be so important for all of us. And then you have given another thread. Why not to take some case studies? That case study is also a very important area you have given. And then I think the segments which you have taken from budget today and what all is to be done on yearly basis up to 2025, what all can be done. So those segments can also be picked up from there. The sewerage, the water and wastewater recycling, and then tap water connections, how it has to come up to that stage, and then households in the country, and then Namami Gange you discussed. Couple of new areas you have given, and the distribution, agriculture, industry, and domestic, how we are utilizing the water. And you gave three different countries, continents. I think that something is very, very important. And water landscape, people, economy, and environment. I think there are more than 150 topics can come from today's talk only, because
Yes.
today you have given such an important areas, and then you have given one website also which I saw over there, which you have mentioned, dreamstime.com. We'll go through that as well. And ladies and gentlemen, careers related to water, it can be in any terms. Till the time on Sunday we didn't start that program, waste to resource, I myself was so ignorant at this age that waste to resource management, how each and everything whatsoever we are using in our house, we can utilize as a resource. Similar way today, Anil Manocha ji has given so many valuable inputs, and this particular today's talk we will share on all platforms. You'll find it on Facebook, you'll find it on Instagram, you'll have it on Twitter, you'll have it on Tumblr, you will have it on my LinkedIn. Everywhere we will take today's talk, and this gives new opportunities, new openings, new avenues, and all our youth, please think seriously. And my education establishments, whether schools or colleges or universities or polytechnics or ITIs, whatever area we want to pick up, whether research, repackaging, recycling, reutilization, optimum utilization, whatever has to be done. And one of these days, we will also do humor with water. Humor with water. Now you would say, what is that? A new dimension you are trying to bring. Ladies and gentlemen, lot of music has been made related to water. Water gives you, when you have a particular kind of a physiotherapy, when you have got medical therapy, so there is a water therapy also which is being taken. So we will take on those kind of areas also, and I think a lot of new avenues which are coming through. Thank you very much. It was a wonderful, very innovative session, and you have given a lot of homework to me in particular. We will work on it, and I think in next 3 4 days we will come out with some inputs, and we will take your final consent how to proceed further. With
Sure.
these words, our deep gratitudes and our deep thanks. Thank you very much for sparing your most valuable time and to share your expertise.